Yasmin, it's so great to see you again this week. And you know what?
Thank you.
Everything that's going on in California, everything that's happening there. How's Danville doing? What is it you like about living in Danville? What do you like about Danville?
Danville is like, it has this, when I first moved here 27 years ago, it still had that feel of, what is it called? The gold rush situation. We had these little old buildings with the facing of where they came with what are the carriages, the post
Uh-huh.
office carriages.
Yeah.
So we had that feel. And, over time, and then the west side, it was all these little ranchers, but it was very exclusive because the west side was or is so close to downtown. And I personally live on the west side. I live 2 minutes from downtown, and I also live 1 minute from the trail. The Iron Horse Trail is very well known in the area, and I believe it starts in Pleasanton and it goes all the way to Pleasant Hill. Of course, there are some parts of the Iron Horse Trail where you have to go across the street, or so it's not all just the trail. It's sometimes you have to go outside, but it's so nice. I walk about 4 miles every day on the trail. And in the mornings, it's, when nobody is there, you just feel
Wow.
like you're in the country and you're surrounded by those big trees. And it's really, really nice. But yet, at the end of my walk, I can just step 1 minute over and I'm at Trader Joe's or I'm at the coffee place. And so I do love the combination of nature and community all in one. And of course, things have changed a lot. The little ranchers are now big houses because the west side is so desirable. The people who originally lived here, they are retiring in other places, and when they retire, families come in and they turn these small ranchers into big houses. And we have seen, I mean, one just went up across the street from me, and it's unbelievable what the builders are doing now, and they are really, really beautiful homes. It's not that it's just a box being put up. It's really tasteful and elegant, and I love driving around my neighborhood and watch how we grow. So how about you? We hardly ever talk about you. I want to know more about Bountiful, Utah. I've never
Well,
heard of
here's
it.
here's the thing. Let's wrap up Danville though, because what
Yeah.
happened is I went and looked at some photos. I had no idea. I knew nothing about Danville, and you and I we get together every week, and I thought I've never looked at where she lives or anything else. So I looked up Danville. I was blown away. I was going, holy smokes, this place is gorgeous. This place is
Yeah.
beautiful, and those old buildings, those older structures, and just the ambiance of the area, it just seemed amazing. And I really
Yes.
was. I was pleasantly surprised when I said, "Show me images of Danville, California." And wow, I didn't know that those kind of places existed still in California. But
Yeah. Yes.
but you know
Yes.
what was most fascinating about it was like how you talk about nature and you talk about the west side being preferred. In here in Bountiful, Utah, it's the complete opposite, meaning it's the east side that is sought after. Okay. But same as far as nature is right there. I mean, if you go look up Bountiful, Utah, or I can even send you some pictures of Bountiful, Utah, some drone footage, that kind of a thing. We live right at the base of the mountains. And so there's all these trails, biking, and you can go up and go skiing not too far, literally 15 minutes away, you can go skiing. And it's
Wow.
just very nature oriented in combination. Same way with the buildings, the housing up on the bench, up on the mountainside is just beautiful, absolutely beautiful structures. The thing is also fascinating about Bountiful, Utah, is we have a mix of the old buildings like stuff properties that are built in the early 1900s mixed with these high-end homes. And so, like, if we get an appraiser in here that doesn't know what they're talking about, that's not, they mess it up because you're sitting there and you got this house that's maybe $500,000, $600,000 house, and it's right next to, or literally a couple blocks away from a $2, $3 million home. And so it's quite fascinating, the mix of what we have here in Utah. People that fly in, my clients that fly in, they're blown away by, they fly
Oh,
right in. They said there's nowhere else that you can fly right in to the mountains. And I mean, the airport is literally 20-minute drive from the mountains. Yeah, it's
sounds
fascinating.
amazing.
I thought, because Colorado is just on the other side of the mountain range, before I had gone there, so in my youth, I thought, oh, Colorado's just over there, and it'll be just like Utah, just from the other side. No, you go land in Denver, and I went, where's the mountain range? I mean, because we have it right there, right next to us, and you can't hardly even see it from Colorado, from Denver, Colorado. But anyway, fascinating place to live. Utah's really, Bountiful, Utah in particular, is very sought after. It's just outside of Salt Lake, and but it's growing like crazy. We're running out of land, to be honest with you.
Oh, oh. Well, yeah, I mean, this here is, we are surrounded by, well, I don't know, it's not a mountain and it's not a hill. So it's like it's Las Trampas, it's like a mountain range, but it's not that high.
It looks like rolling hills, is what it looks
Yeah,
like, based on the
rolling hills.
photos that I saw.
Hmm.
It was
And it's,
rolling hills.
on both sides. It's here on the west side. I look west and it's here. And then if I look east, we have Mount Diablo. And that in itself is a beautiful place where you can hike up to it, and you can drive up to it or bike up to it. And then once you are up there, you have a lots to explore, and they have events up there. It's really, really nice. So yes, I love Danville for those reasons. I love the variety of things it has to offer. And when I think of when I came and how it is now, is it really a first-time home buyer market here? Absolutely not. I mean, yes, it's a first-time home buyer if you can start at 1 million,
Right.
you know. So yes, and it's an entry market for somebody whose goal it is to really thrive in the luxury market.
Oh, totally. I looked that up too, and it was well over $1 million for. I think
Entry.
I'm just remembering, so it could be wrong, but I think the average price, the middle range, was like 1.8, 1.9 million, if I remember right.
Yeah, and that includes, I mean, we have townhouses, that are currently under 1 million, but or condos, those yes, but single family residence is really, really hard.
Yes, yes. We have similar market in Bountiful. There's some areas that, I mean, we have some properties that are well under 1 million. So it's different in that way. But in like Heber and Park City, which is about an hour away from here, that's where that is similar to California. A lot of the Californians move from California when they move here, they moved to Heber and Park City, because
Mhm.
well, they're taking the equity they have there in California and dumping it in here, and so.
Yeah, and I think, when I think of Utah, and by the way, I think I'm going to come visit you, and then I don't know if it's immediately, but I want to visit my brother-in-law and his wife in Montana, in Bozeman,
Oh,
and I want to drive. I want to go on a solo driving adventure. And so I thought, oh, I'm going to drive through Utah and I'm going to visit Todd and his wife, and he can
yes,
show me around a little bit. So I was thinking
absolutely,
that, yeah,
for sure, for
so
sure.
that is my plan. So sorry,
Well,
I'm dumping this on you right now.
no, keep me posted, because we'd love to have you. Love to have you
Yeah.
come and spend some time with us, and we'll show you around Utah.
Yeah.
Anyway, always a pleasure to learn
Okay.
about where you're living,
Yes.
learn about you, learn about the markets, the difference in
Yes.
the markets, the difference in the sometimes we can talk about the politics. There's so many things that we can talk about here, and we love having the discussion. So thank you. It's a
Yes,
pleasure.
my pleasure. Have a good weekend.